All right. I put it on that screen real quick so I can get this all going. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be the Sagittarius reading for October 2021. My name is Ben. We're going to hop straight into your reading. Let me move my phone. So this is the first time I've ever done a live general reading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the reading like I normally do, and then periodically I'll like check the comments and stuff, but I'm not going to address probably most of them if there's any on because I know it's late, but I'll address most of them after the reading because I don't want to interrupt it too much. So, yeah, I was making sure the mic is working. So, yeah, let me hop right into this. Let me make sure I can hear myself. Yeah, okay, I can hear myself. Okay, so like I said, this is for Sagittarius, but if you're not a Sagittarius, that's fine. This reading's meant to be for everybody and anybody. If it fits for you, it fits for you, regardless of anything else. And yeah, so we're just gonna pull a general spread here and see what messages come through. Okay, let's pull some clarifiers. If you'd like a personal reading, all the information will be in the description down below, as well as all my other links. If you're interested in any of those, you can check them out. So already, I like this. I like this so far. Let's pull the clarifiers. And then, of course, this reading, even though it's live now, it's going to be up like a regular reading once I'm done streaming it here. Alright. So, let me put this down. This isn't going to be for everybody, but it is going to be for some people. We do have a lot of twin flame references here, okay? So if you're not a twin flame, that's okay. You don't have to be. Or if you don't know that if you are or not, that's okay too. But for those that the confirmation fits, this is going to be about twin flames, if that applies to you. So keep that in mind. So the first thing I'm seeing, you currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant people around you right now that are in your energy field. 3 of them are masculine energy, regardless of gender, okay? 3 are masculine energy, and 2 are, like, mixed. They're, like, they're pretty balanced, actually. So, the 2 masculine energies over here, 2 of them are going to be presenting you with a new opportunity or a new offer. What exactly that is, we're going to get into that. And then the other masculine energy here is different. There's a masculine energy kind of keeping an eye on you from a distance, okay? So possibly somebody you're separated from, or like a distant family member, a distant friend, whatever that may be. We're going to get more in depth in a second. And then the 2 more balanced energies here, they're healthier, okay? The first one is the Hermit, the Page of Swords, and Judgment. So with the Hermit, this energy over here, they're watching you, but not in a sense, it's not the same as this masculine energy over here. There's somebody else keeping an eye on you, but it's out of, like, protection. They're trying to really see not what you're doing, but what the other people around you are doing. Like, they're kind of trying to look out for you and make sure that the other energies around you right now are treating you okay, alright? So this seems more like an older energy. Whether they're living or they've passed, it doesn't matter, but an older energy is kind of watching over you here. And then the other energy, this is like a blossoming emotional connection. So the balanced one, that's the older energy, is watching over you. And the other more balanced energy, it's the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. This person really has their energy together, and they're very independent. They're financially independent, stability-wise. They're very secure. And Queen of Swords, they're also good at communicating, okay? Sometimes they can come off a little blunt or maybe a little harsh, but it's not in a mean way or like a cutting way. It's just they're so upfront and honest to the point where it's like they kind of just say things and then afterwards they say, okay, maybe I could have approached that a little more gently, but it's all in good faith. They don't have any bad intentions. So that's a blossoming emotional connection here. Friend, romance, doesn't matter. This top row is more casual, okay? When we come down into this bottom row in a minute, it's going to be much more in depth for a specific person, okay? So the top row is kind of just your general, what other energies are around you right now. Now, coming down into this bottom row, like I said, for those that this applies to, this is for a twin flame, okay? We have the Emperor and the Empress, and then we also have the Four Wands, the Ten of Pentacles. So, I like this. Alright, let me start over here. So first, you have the World, Justice, and the Nine of Cups. Whatever cycle you've been in with the person that you're separated from currently, you are closing out that cycle, okay? But you're also having like a helping hand from spirit in this connection where it's like justice needs to be brought to this, right? But it's revolving the Nine of Cups. So both of you, because of, especially if it's a twin flame, because of the back and forth and just the intensity of the connection, it gets very draining after a while. So you may have closed off your emotions and kind of become guarded emotionally, okay? Not in a bad way, but just in a, like, when things get really intense, especially for a long period of time, which happens with the twin flame journey, it can be very overbearing at times. So sometimes the way you cope with that is you shut off your emotions, or at least simmer them down, or kind of suppress them a little bit because they're so intense all the time, you know? So that's not a bad thing, but justice is being brought to that, okay? Which means that that is going to need to be addressed. You are going to have to start opening back up emotionally, not just to other people, but also to yourself, you know? Like, what things are you avoiding? Are you avoiding something like, let's say, like a particular movie or a song or something like that? Whatever may remind you of those specific emotions or that person, you have to address those things, okay? So start doing it slowly like that. We also have the Six of Pentacles, Strength, and the Eight of Swords. So once this is addressed, right, once you start opening back up here, with the Six of Pentacles, you're going to become balanced again, okay? Because right now you're both a little out of balance because that's what's going to happen, right? For you to before you come into twin flame union, you're both going to be out of balance. It's going to be like a seesaw, right? One of you's going to be up, the other one's going to be down. One of them's going to be down, the other one's going to be up. You know what I mean? Until you eventually level out like this, and you're both on the same level. Okay, but before that happens, you're going to be unbalanced because you're both triggering each other, you're addressing your traumas, you're healing your inner child, you know, you're integrating your shadow self, you're doing all this work, right? But balance is starting to come back into your energy field, which is very nice. It's going to be a very nice relief, okay? And it's because with strength, you've had the strength to pull through that. Pull through this Eight of Swords here, which is feeling very bound, very blind, very trapped, okay? Which you can feel kind of most of the time on a twin flame journey, right? Because it's very confusing, it's very intense, it's very triggering, right? So balance now is starting to come in, okay? And then here we have the Ten of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Four Wands. So now we're moving into the both of you. I'm going to show you this. The both of you have gone from what we just talked about. Now you're starting to think, okay? With the Seven of Pentacles here, you're starting to think. You're starting to, what's the word I want? Like imagine or fantasize about this, okay? The Ten of Pentacles together, all right? And also this, the Four of Wands, because this is how it came out. So you're starting to imagine your life together and really think about it, all right? The both of you are doing that because you're coming more into balance. It's not so much you're feeling trapped and bound anymore. It's more so you're moving from this to fantasizing, but that's not the word I want. I can't think of the word I want. imagining. I'll think of it as we keep going. But that's what you're doing now. Okay, that's what you're moving into. And then you have the Three of Wands, the Emperor, and the Eight of Cups. So the masculine energy in this connection, right? Regardless of gender, because that doesn't matter. You can be female and have masculine energy dominantly, or you can be male and have dominantly feminine energy, right? Because we all have both. Everybody has both. Just depends which one you're currently in and which one you're currently healing, okay? So the more dominantly masculine right now in the connection, they are walking away from the situations, people, and things that do not give them the recognition, respect, and deserve that they know they deserve. Okay? I think I said that weird. The recognition, the respect, and the appreciation that they deserve. Okay, that sounds better. And that's what the more masculine energy is doing right now. The more feminine energy currently, you have the Empress, Death, and the Knight of Pentacles, okay? So the more feminine energy, they're going through a complete rebirth, all right? When it comes to their stability, their physical existence. So a lot of times the feminine, in the beginning of their journey, can kind of brush off reality or brush off material responsibilities or things like that, because we're so focused a lot of the time on like the higher realms and the spirituality part of life, but you can't be love and light all the time. That's actually toxic, okay? You do need to address your shadow self and integrate it into the light. All right, so in the beginning of the journey, the masculine is typically stuck in the dark and the feminine is stuck in the light. All right, and as the journey progresses, you start to balance each other out and balance yourselves out, okay? So the feminine is now addressing the more shadow aspects of themselves, and therefore the masculine is starting to embrace the light aspect of themselves, meaning they know they deserve what they deserve. You know what I mean? They want to be treated how they deserve, and the feminine now is seeing that maybe people you look down on the past or in the past, or maybe people you had judged before, or whatever it may be, you're going to see them in a different light because you're not going to see them as toxic anymore. Because even that word itself, toxic, is toxic, right? Even just saying that word is toxic, because there's no such thing as toxic. There's only pain. You know, everything is either love or pain. Those are the two things that pretty much the only true things that exist are love and pain. So if you think somebody's toxic, you're going to see it not that way anymore. Instead, you're going to see it as all the pain that they are carrying around. And instead of repelling them because you oh, well, they're toxic, whatever, now it's going to shift into, I'm going to send that person a lot of love because I'm very compassionate about all the pain they're going through. I'm not saying you invite them into your life because you don't want that energy around you. But what you do is you send love energy their way, okay? Instead of like repelling them because they're toxic. Because when you do that, when you repel somebody for any reason, you're actually repelling that part of yourself, okay? So you need to be all compassionate, right? Toward everything, everything in existence, right? Even a rock, even a tree, even a branch, you know, whatever the person's done, it doesn't matter, right? Because everybody deserves forgiveness, okay? If you can't forgive them, that means you can't forgive yourself if you were to do that, all right? So that's what the feminine currently is going through, okay? And like I said, the masculine's going to be the opposite, where the people they thought were amazing, they're starting to see as unhealthy, right? As the toxic, because they're like, wow, I really do deserve to be treated much better than this. Okay, so you're starting to balance, both of you are starting to balance out, all right? Let me pull some Oracle now and see. This is an emotion deck. See what we get. So we're going to pull some up top for the general people that we talked about in the beginning, and then we'll pull some on bottom. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yep. Everything we just talked about. So we have up top for the general people that we talked about in the beginning, we have bittersweet, isolation, and self-worth. So the people we mentioned, there were three dominantly masculine energies up top, and then 2 more balanced energies up top. So with those 5 energies, it's going to be bittersweet, right? Because you have people that are very healthy, the 2 balanced ones over here, that are, one is trying to protect you from others, and one is a blossoming emotional connection, right? It doesn't have to be romance, it just means in general you fulfill each other emotionally, okay? But it's bittersweet because you have those 2 other people over here who are not necessarily doing that, or 3 other people over here that are not necessarily in that same energy, okay? One of them's really watching you from afar, seeing what you're up to, and the other 2 are trying to offer you something, but it's not, it's different than this over here. This is like a stability offer. So it could be like work, it could be something related to your stability, finance, health, anything like that, okay? Whereas these are much more, they fulfill you emotionally and spiritually, all right? That's why it's going to be kind of bittersweet. Now with isolation, you may be starting to isolate not only from these 3 people that we just talked about on this side, but in general, you may feel isolated, okay? Because these 2 people are coming into your energy, right? But they're coming in. So currently, you may still be feeling a little isolated, but there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's just something you have to purge through, which is okay. Because you do have support coming your way if you don't have that already. And then we have self-worth, all right? So your self-worth, I mean, everyone has insecurities, right? But when it comes to your self-worth, that's actually different than insecurity a little bit, because insecurity, a lot of people have that, but not everyone has a very low self-worth, okay? So if you do have low self-worth, that's typically, I would say 99.99% of the time, because there's always an exception, right? But most of the time, all twin flames suffer with self-worth issues, okay? Whether it be, most of it's from trauma, past relationships, just life in general, just kind of beating you down. Twin flames have had a rough life, okay? That's the point. Your soul goes through a lot because it really has to evolve. The more dark you go through in life, the higher light you reach, right? Because all light is darkness transmuted into light. So you can only have as much light as you have darkness, okay? So that's why twin flames go through the same stuff. I mean, not the same stuff, the difficult stuff. They do go through the same stuff. I didn't even mean to say that, but that is true. So they do go through the same stuff. Hi, Amy Wells. Yeah, it's nice to see you again, too. I know I've been away for a while, but I'm doing the live readings now, so it's much easier because I can stream them. Way easier for me to upload, so they're all going to be, like, coming out pretty quick. But yeah, like I was saying, so twin flames, you do go through a lot of the same stuff. Now, coming down here into the second row, when we talked about before, if you're just coming in now, Amy, this reading's going to be up after as a full video, so if you're a little lost right now, that's okay, because you'll see the full thing after. So down here in this row, okay, the first thing we talked about was the world, right, which was completing a cycle, and then right here, you have completion, okay? So the old cycle that you were in before with this person, you're no longer going to be in that, all right? Now, like we said, you're moving into the fantasizing and manifesting perception, right? That comes with wisdom, okay? So not only are you imagining the 10 of Pentacles, which is that beautiful life, but you're also, when you're sitting here with the 7 of Pentacles and thinking, you're also downloading information, okay? So you're getting a lot of light downloads, which may take a physical toll on your body, because it really does. So maybe you're extra tired, you're not feeling good, you have weird, if you ever get like weird muscle spasms, there's a word for that, but I can't think of it. But it's part of spiritual downloads, and it affects your physical body, so you're going to get like weird things like that. And then with perception, that's what we were talking about before, where the feminine is starting to see things how the masculine originally did, and the masculine is starting to see things how the feminine originally did. So that's really cool. I'm going to pull a few more cards here. Let me see. We'll use the Psychic Oracle. That was quick. The first, we have Fulfillment of Wishes. Okay, so that was the first thing that popped out. That's really cool. Let's see what else we get. I think this will be the last deck I pull for this reading for now. Whoa. We'll take those. Alright, so we have universe. Again, that's the world in the tarot, so that's 3 completions. And 3 is the number of karma, okay? So you've cleared out a lot of the karma that you both were dealing with in this connection, which is very good, because you can't come into union until you clear that karma. So this is very close, which I'm happy to see. We have authority. This is the Emperor, okay, in the tarot. So we're getting a lot of messages here that we have the Emperor right here. We have suffering and silence. Okay, so this is the 9 of Swords in the tarot. So I think this is falling on the masculine here. So the masculine energy in this connection, while they are speaking their truth and reclaiming their value, like actually speaking it to people, saying, hey, I want to be treated this way. I deserve to be treated this way. I won't tolerate any less, which is good because they're starting to put up boundaries. While they're doing that, they're also suffering in silence when it's about the feminine, okay, because it's thinking about the female here. So while they're doing that, they're also suffering a little bit because they're thinking about, again, sitting here contemplating is what this card is. So they're sitting there thinking, wow, I wish, the feminine was right. That they told me this before, that I was around people that were toxic and not healthy for me, but I didn't want to hear it because I was stuck in it. So even though it's great that they're speaking their truth now, they're also feeling not regret, but it's a form of suffering where it's like in hindsight you realize so much, which can be a form of suffering because you can't change the past. But that's not a bad thing because they're still doing what they need to be doing. And then we have the waiting game. Okay, so again, this is all in divine timing, okay? The as above, so below that we've mentioned in the reading already. So you do have some waiting left to go. And with sacral chakra, it seems like one of the last karmic blockages you need to heal is in your sacral chakra, okay, which is the sexual chakra, which falls heavy under the feminine and the masculine because the sexual trauma, the sexual blockages, and there's another word I want. Trauma, blockages, triggers, maybe? That might be the word I want. But anyway, what I'm talking about is there's a lot of stuff in the sacral chakra that needs to be cleared for twin flames, typically. Because that's one of the heavier chakras. It's usually heart chakra, throat chakra, and sacral chakra. Because that's your emotions, your communication, which are the 2 toughest for twin flames, right? And then the sexual energy, because that's usually almost out of balance, where if you had a sexual connection with your twin and then they just ghosted you, it's because the other 2 chakras are also blocked, okay? So the emotion and communication are off. That means you're not going to have the good sex, right? The sexual chakra. So all 3 of those always tie in together. I mean, you're going to clear all 7 of your chakras, but those 3 in particular are like really tough to get through for those blockages. So the emotions is already starting to be healed. The communication's already being healed. So now we're going to move into the sexual energy. All right, so the sacral chakra. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there for this reading for today. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you, Amy, for popping in. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great